Joining us now to discuss the criminal prosecution of Venezuelan dictator Nicolás Maduro is Bobbie Anne Cox, civil rights attorney, fellow at the Brownstone Institute, and legal analyst. So Bobbie, Bobbie Anne, thank you for joining us today. Could you talk to us about the charges Maduro is facing and how might prosecutors build this case against him and who's going to provide testimony?
Yes, of course. Well, the charges against Maduro are pretty serious. He's got narco-terrorist charges. They are claiming that he colluded and conspired with known terrorist organizations that would be bringing illegal drugs into our country, particularly cocaine in this case, and that they were being smuggled into the United States and then sold illegally here. And so he's being charged with this conspiracy and narco-terrorism and possession of illegal guns because they claim that the guns that were used in the smuggling process to get the drugs into the United States were indeed illegal. And so, he's facing a few different charges, and he does have some co-conspirators as well. Including his wife is one of the co-conspirators that has also been indicted. And how they're going to build the case is they're mostly, it looks like they're mostly going off of testimony from cooperating witnesses, so people that were involved with the alleged smuggling. And they're going to go off that. I don't know the evidence that they have against Maduro at this time. Because the prosecutors have not released that information at this point. So this is just an indictment. This is not an actual trial yet. So they don't have to actually show their evidence at this point in time. So I don't know exactly what they're trying to use to prove their case right now. But we will certainly see that in the coming weeks and months ahead. I do believe that the judge in this case has set down the next court date for earlier mid-March. So that will be coming up in a couple of months. We need to see what the evidence is exactly that the prosecutors have. But this is, very serious charges. And Maduro will be being held in custody in New York City in a detention facility until the trial. And from what I have read about the detention facility where he's being held, it apparently is not a very clean or very nice place to be. This is all going to play out in front of us, and I'm sure it's going to have high media attention because it is not common to have the United States extract a leader of a foreign country and bring them into our country for this type of a legal proceeding. So, let's see how this plays out and see what kind of evidence they have against him.
Okay, so you're saying this is not common. I'm wondering if there's any precedent to this.
Well, there is precedent, actually. We did see with the dictator of Panama a couple decades ago, back in the 1990s, we did see Manuel Nogueira. He was brought here he came into our country voluntarily, and we tried him for what similar type of situation. It was drug trafficking into the United States. Slightly different situation because we didn't reach into Panama and pull him out as we did with Maduro last weekend or the end of last week. So it is slightly different, but it is a precedent so that, we have seen this happen before. And we definitely, from where the president and his administration is sitting, we definitely have the ability and the power to defend the United States against terrorist organizations. And if the head of a country foreign to ours is engaged in that terrorist activity against the United States, the Trump administration's position is that they do have the authority to protect Americans, to protect our country. And that's what they say that they are doing in this instance.
So what kind of timeline are we looking at here until we actually get a verdict?
Well, it's hard to say, when exactly we should expect a verdict in this case. Unfortunately, legal battles do tend to drag on. And I will note that this is a criminal case. It's being done in federal court with federal charges against Maduro. And so it's being done in the Southern District of New York. If people are wondering, well, why New York? We do have a track record in New York, particularly in the Southern District of New York, getting convictions against foreign terrorists that have carried out assaults and attacks both on American soil here in the United States and abroad. So this was a calculated decision to extract Maduro and bring him here to New York so that the federal prosecutors could start a case against him. And I'll note, they did choose the Southern District of New York over the other districts because New York State has a few different federal districts for the court system. And they did bring him specifically into an airport that falls within the jurisdiction of the Southern District because they want those prosecutors do have experience going after terrorist groups or terrorist individuals such as this.
I'm very curious as to what Maduro is actually likely to argue during the trial. Maybe you can speak to that. Do you think he's going to say, or his lawyers, that there's been a violation of international law in his arrest?
I do believe that's going to be part of the argument. When he was brought into court the other day, that was one of the things that he was saying to the judge, even though, it wasn't a trial at that point, but he was saying, I'm here, I've been kidnapped, I'm here illegally, you can't have me, you can't hold me here, you can't keep me here, I'm the head of a foreign sovereign nation. So I do believe that they're going to try to argue that he shouldn't be here in the first place, that the United States was not doing within their powers when they reached into his country and, pulled him out. So, yeah, that's certainly something that I'm expecting his attorneys to argue, is that, it was a violation of international law and the Trump administration overstepped in this case, and that he shouldn't even be here legally. But, the issue with that is courts in the United States have given much leeway to the president of the United States in past situations, former presidents, when they're trying to decide whether or not an action taken by a president is within the power of the president, because there is a broad power to protect our country. National security is of utmost importance. So I'm not sure that Maduro's argument is going to withstand the scrutiny and that they would uphold that argument at all.
Well, all right, Bobbie Anne, that's it for today. Thank you for your time, for speaking with us.
Yes, thanks for having me on.